Time for our second face-off tonight. Kejriwal versus Modi Shah now in Gujarat. Is Arvind Kejriwal taking the Congress's space in Gujarat? Is AAP acting as BJP's B team as Congress alleges? Is the real battle in Gujarat for the opposition space at the moment? Shehzad Poonawala, BJP spokesperson, still with us. Supriya Srinath, the Congress's spokesperson and social media in charge, with us. Rakesh Hirpara, National Council member of the Aam Aadmi Party, with us. To you, Rakesh Hirpara, because Arvind Kejriwal seems to be trying to create a buzz in Gujarat. What is his intention? Last time you got just 0.1% vote and only 24,000 votes across Gujarat in 2017. Suddenly you are saying Congress is finished, I am ready to take on the BJP. Is Kejriwal punching above his weight? Does he have any basis, or is this only media hype as is being called by his critics? Yes, Rakesh ji.
Am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So actually, talking about.
Okay, unfortunately, we've had a problem with Rakesh's line. In the meantime,
Because the leaders never.
We are going to try and get Rakesh's line right. In the meantime, I need to go to Supriya Srinath. Supriya Srinath, your leaders are in Bharat Jodo Yatra in Kerala, where you are taking on CPIM. All of this is happening at a time when Arvind Kejriwal is now focusing on Gujarat, elections in Gujarat, Congress leadership in Kerala, and therefore a vacuum is being created. Are you taking Gujarat seriously or not, or are you ready to vacate that space for Kejriwal there?
No, I think before I say anything, this is a picture that I saw of Arvind Kejriwal while he was flying the private jet back to Delhi after doing his stunt with the auto driver's family and the dinner. Exactly the same script that was played out in Punjab, also played out in Gujarat. He goes to a auto guy's place. I have nothing against that. वो stunt करते हैं, उनका वो काम है. He's a stunt man. But then, of course, he tries to ride the private jet. I would only want to ask two things of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal before I talk about the BJP. The two things that I want to ask about Arvind Kejriwal are, what is the biggest problem in Gujarat right now? And to my mind, the biggest problem in Gujarat right now is how the drug menace has spread from the ports of Gujarat to the hinterland and to factories, chemical factories in Gujarat, which are being caught with lots of drugs being produced there. What is his stand on it? How come I have not heard a word from Mr. Arvind Kejriwal as far as Gujarat is concerned? The second, and the drug menace is concerned, the second question I have of Mr. Kejriwal, and I've had this for a while. You know, everybody wants good schools. We all want good colleges. We all want healthcare. This is par for the course for any political party to talk about. What is your ideology? Has Mr. Kejriwal in Delhi or in Gujarat spoken a word against the release of 11 rapists, aided, helped by the BJP, approved by the BJP MLAs, lauded by them, but Mr. Kejriwal keeps quiet? I really want to know what is his ideology. Doing these stunts may get you some prime air time, but this exposes.
But he's on the ground.
What a big hypocrite
He's on the ground in Gujarat.
Ideology.
He's on the ground spending 3 days a week in Gujarat, while your leaders are in Kerala. It's good. The polls are in Gujarat, not in Kerala.
Yes. Fair enough. I will also answer that question. The Aam Aadmi Party, the so-called Aam Aadmi Party, has spent 500 crores in advertisements in the last 1 year. In the last 1 month alone, 36 crores worth of money has been spent in ads by the Punjab government that's riding on debt and that cannot pay salaries of its employees. What are we talking about here? Yes, he will be seen on the ground because he's spending money like crazy, just like the BJP does. And before I speak about the BJP, let me also bust one more theory of the Aam Aadmi Party. You may do these things, but you have to take political stand on issues that matter. आप शराब की नीति यहाँ पर बनाते हैं, शराब बैन स्टेट में जाते हैं. What is your stand on liquor? I really want to know. What is your stand on drugs? I want to know. What is your stand on rapists being released? I would like to know. And as far as your accusation on us doing the Bharat Jodo Yatra is concerned, it is important. It is important precisely because of your previous discussion. देख रहे हैं ना भाजपा के झंडे उठाकर क्या गुंडागर्दी कर रहे हैं लोग बंगाल में. ये देश को तोड़ेंगे और हम देश को ऐसे ही जोड़ेंगे.
Okay, you made your point. Supriya Shrinet,
Yatra is a sign of the change.
Supriya Shrinet, you made your point. Allow the AAP to respond. Rakesh Hirpara, you want to respond? According to Supriya Shrinet in the Congress, Arvind Kejriwal is not focusing on the real issues of Gujarat. He is keeping silent, whether it is Bilkis Bano, whether it is, according to them, the drugs halls in Gujarat. You are focusing only on stuntbazi, according to her.
Actually,
I do not want to respond Congress, because talking about Congress is a waste of time. Despite being in the opposition for so many years, the Congress has not raised a single big movement for the people of Gujarat. The people of Gujarat have now understood that voting for Congress is the same as voting for BJP. Sorry?
You are saying that voting for the Congress is voting as a... They are saying you are the B team of the BJP. According to the Congress, you are the B team.
They are the B team because they have not, as I said, the Congress has not raised a single big movement for the people of Gujarat. The leaders of the Congress are the leaders of BJP, officially or unofficially. This time the people of Gujarat have got such a party, such an alternative, which talks about the real issues and the problems of the people. We are fighting for the people, and that's why this time people of Gujarat are wholeheartedly with Aam Aadmi Party. Congress is nowhere on the ground. Congress is zero. Despite being, they have 70.
Can I please come in for a minute?
2017
Okay.
election. There were 77 MLAs. Where were they?
Okay, let me ask Supriya Shrinet, there is a sense that Mr. Kejriwal is setting the narrative. He makes announcements, and he went 2 months ago and made announcements, including for free electricity, for example. The Prime Minister reacts and calls it Revdi culture. Rahul Gandhi goes there and makes similar announcements. He is setting the narrative, like it or not. In Gujarat today, Kejriwal is slowly but surely setting the narrative, and the Congress is playing catch up. Aren't you worried that that space in another important state is moving away, the opposition space, from you to AAP?
No, I am not worried for two reasons. I am not worried for reason number one, that whenever it comes to political ideology, and eventually that is what differentiates us from the BJP. We are two ends of the political spectrum. We believe in an inclusive India. They believe in the hum do, hamare do culture. The Aam Aadmi Party cannot decide what to do publicly, because what they do privately, we've all seen. The Aam Aadmi Party, there is a reason I call them the Team B. Whether it is Goa or whether it is Uttarakhand, you look at the vote difference between us and the BJP. Each time the BJP is about to lose, the Chhota recharge comes to their rescue. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal goes calling in Gujarat and in Uttarakhand to ensure that the BJP wins. Exactly what he's trying to do in Gujarat.
But if you've not won Gujarat, for 25 years, they have every right to enter. No, but Supriya Shrinet, if you have not been able to defeat the Modi Shah BJP for so many years, if Arvind Kejriwal wants to occupy that space, he has every right. I mean, the Congress is not entitled to be the opposition.
Absolutely. No, but Rajdeep, I refute you. I never said I'm entitled to be the opposition, but I'm entitled to point out how does the AAP script play along. And the AAP script is very clear. Wherever the BJP is in a hot spot, in a hot soup, the AAP comes to their rescue. What did the AAP achieve in Goa, I would like to know. And what did the AAP achieve in Uttarakhand, other than making the BJP win? I would really want to ask this question. What is their ideology on 11 rapists being released? Why has he not said a word on that? Why does he not say a word on drugs? Why does he spend so much of public money on advertisements and taking private jets and going and doing stunts by eating with auto drivers' families? Exactly, Punjab mein kahiya tha, wahi purani script Gujarat.
Supriya Shrinet, Rahul Gandhi also goes to Dalit families and eats in their home. Politicians are known to have photo ops across the spectrum. We'll come into photo op politics, whether you believe this is photo op or not, in a moment again.
Rahul Gandhi is not a stuntman like Arvind Kejriwal is. Arvind Kejriwal's politics is one of stunts and ads. That's all that he is.
Let Shehzad
hypocrisy. Rahul Gandhi has an ideology. He speaks about women. He speaks against rapists. BJP and AAP do not. Let them decide for themselves what is their ideology. Let them say on the show today, are they for or are they against the release of rapists of Bilkis Bano.
Okay,
Let
I
the
will,
representative say
my
today
friend,
something that the Delhi Chief Minister has not said. Boliye, bataiye.
Ma'am, you've repeated it. Shehzad Poonawala has been patient, but I will try one more time to ask the AAP person. Rakesh Hirpara, the charge is Kejriwal or the AAP has no ideological fight against the BJP. It's an election fight. You are trying to basically take the votes away. You have no stand on Bilkis Bano. You have no stand on the drug issue. You are not, according to the Congress, tackling the real ideological war against BJP. Quick answer, then I'll come to Shehzad.
The biggest problem of the country today is corruption, and we have continuously been fighting against the corruption, and that is our ideology.
Okay, corruption is your ideology. Okay, irrespective of the fact that there are serious charges now being made against you in Delhi.
What about the liquor mafia and the GTC buses scam?
Okay, let Shehzad Poonawala step in. Shehzad, you're hearing? Okay, yeah. Okay, Shehzad, in a way, while you're smiling, producer, while you're smiling, this seems an ideal situation for you because you've got AAP and Congress battling for the opposition space in Gujarat, and maybe a divided vote is what you're looking for. Are you, though, worried about Mr. Kejriwal making gains in Gujarat in the fortress, at least in terms of optics, in terms of narrative at the moment? Is this a worry? Is Kejriwal someone who worries the BJP long term, even in Gujarat?
The reason I was smiling, Rajdeep, because you were almost like Phil, the marriage counselor, trying to solve a marital dispute between Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party. You remember they had one marriage in 2013? I hope both of them at least accept on air now that it was a historic blunder. But they won't do it because convenience comes first for both of them. They are like the Bade Miyan and Chote Miyan of corruption. And therefore, for us, one is no better than the other. In fact, Raghav Chadda, who doesn't come on television debates anymore, had once said that we are the natural replacement of the Congress. I agree completely. They are the natural replacement of the Congress. Let me explain how. Both of them questioned armed forces on surgical strike. Both of them play politics on national security. Both of them have questioned the Gujarat police. One made a drama yesterday. The other has questioned the Gujarat police on encounters, Ishrat Jahan case, and so on and so forth. Both of them defend the corrupt whenever they get an opportunity. One defends parivarik corruption. The other defends the corruption of Manish Sisodia and Satendra Jain, the twin towers of corruption. 1 second, Rajdeep. Let me have my say also. Mera bhi thoda say le lo. And look at Supriya's confidence. I love Supriya's confidence. इनको 2% वोट मिला है उत्तर प्रदेश में, और वो टोपी वाले जो आए थे बोल रहे थे we will make a government, they got less than nota. Now you tell me that if Aam Aadmi Party was our B team, why did you A, do an alliance with them? And B, even if they were the B team in Uttar Pradesh, they got 1%, less than 1% vote. The other one has got 2% vote. So
Gujarat,
please, who's cutting whose vote?
Alliance was 20. Gujarat. Are you worried about Gujarat? Because Mr. Kejriwal is tapping into a narrative, health, education, claiming he will bring a Delhi model to a state where on issues like health and education, the government he claims has failed. Do you see him? He's attracting decent crowds as well. Is he someone you fear even more than a Rahul Gandhi?
Rajdeep, part of my family and I think even part of your family comes from Gujarat. We speak Gujarati also. Gujarati log, they are those people who will never buy कंगी एंड टेल ऑफ हेयर और हेयर ग्रोथ फ्रॉम अ गंजा. कोई गंजे से ये हेयर ग्रोथ ऑयल नहीं खरीदेंगे. प्लीज कैन दी आम आदमी पार्टी स्पोक्स पर्सन टेल अस 500 schools that they claim to build in they have built in Delhi. Can he tell us which 100 schools names they have built and where they are? Which 5 hospitals they have built in the last 7 years in Delhi? Or can they tell us they claim 10 lakh jobs? The RTI shows 3246 jobs have been given by Arvind Kejriwal in the last 7 years. And if they have not given everybody a job, unless they feel that there is no joblessness in Delhi, why aren't they giving their Berozgari Bhatta in Delhi, which they promised in Punjab and they promised in Gujarat? And in fact, in Punjab, they've gone so bankrupt, they can't even pay the government officers. In Delhi, the only reason they have not gone bankrupt is because the MHA pays for Delhi police and the centre pays for the pensions and liabilities. The revenue surplus of Delhi has come down consequently in the last 10 years by 88%. But let me come one question. Supriya's confidence. She says we are an ideological party. Kya ideology hai? On one end you have Uddhav Sena, on the other end you have IUML, on the third end you have ISF, and they are saying we are the ones with ideology. Supriya, when was the last time your party took a position on Ankita's burning? When was the last time your party took a position on what happened in Dumka and the MLA and the person in JMM government, Mr. Basant Soren, said that I was busy underwear shopping? When was the last time Rajasthan, when there are atrocities against women, Priyanka Vadra spoke up? Or Priyanka Vadra took a position on that? Your ideology is as true as the commitment on corruption of Arvind Kejriwal.
Okay. Final word from you, Supriya Shrinet. are you all worried, just as the BJP claim they are not worried about AAP, are you worried about rising AAP? Let's be clear, this is a party which has just won Punjab, this is a party which has won 2 consecutive elections in Delhi. Does AAP's clout in Gujarat now make it even more difficult for you to take on Modi Shah there? He claims he's the challenger.
It's quite rich for the BJP spokesperson to sit here and ask, did we speak on Ankita? Yes, we did. Both Priyanka and Rahul Gandhi issued statements and asked for absolute punishment for the wonders. Yes, go and check your Twitter, you will know, because that's all that you do every day. But did the Prime Minister speak about rapists being released? Did the Prime Minister say a word on Lakhimpur Kheri? Did he say a word on Unnao? Did he utter a word on
You went
Hathras?
with the same
No,
propaganda in Lakhimpur Kheri. You lost your deposit there. You went with the same propaganda in
She did not speak when you won.
lost your deposit. But you also gave us the opening and the closing statement.
No, she did not. On this issue, this is an issue where Congress and AAP.
Congress has some privilege.
1 minute.
No, Congress, the days of privilege is over.
You are also on another debate of the BJP. Don't intervene. I'll allow you to respond.
You cannot take advantage by speaking in between.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Carry on, ma'am. Carry on.
Stop this. Stop being a goon just because you're sitting in the
Okay, go on.
Supriya, why don't you mind your manners and your language for a change? Because, you know, if you want to talk about goonery, you should go and see what your Rahul Gandhi was doing with George the Hater. Was he trying to build the country with a person who abuses Bharat Mata? What is Rahul Gandhi's position on George the Hater? What is Rahul Gandhi's position on the anti-Hindu venom that the DMK MP, Mr. A. Raja spin? No, tell us what is your position on this. Bharat ko jodne chale ho.
She has every right to speak.
She has a right to call me a goon.
Let you respond.
She has a right to call me a goon.
That's for her to decide.
I'm a goon.
She thinks so. She thinks
you're allowing her. Then I think that the Congress party is a party of rioters and Rajiv Gandhi is the father of riots. Sonia Gandhi is the mother of hatred. Sonia Gandhi is the mother of hatred. Go ahead.
Okay. You know, I do not like the idea that people have reduced it to name calling.
She started it.
No, this is not the way to do it.
Please
I'm
ask
sorry.
him to keep quiet. And Rajdeep, I am actually registering a protest here. He is the goon sitting next to a television anchor making use
You
of
call the
light
people
money.
of Assam Dur Daraj. You call the
This is
Chief Minister of Assam who's elected at 2 rupee troll. You mind your language about those who vote.
Okay, time out. You know, it is unfortunate. We try to make this discussion. Okay, 2 rupee troll, goons, these are words which are completely unfortunate, become personal. The idea is not to make... Okay, no, Shehzad Punawala.
I did not use any language like that.
No one take the high...
BJP doesn't. This is her culture and her party's culture and her upbringing in particular.
Okay.